we're going to look at one of the examples from section 1.1 that I don't think we covered in class, but I'll go ahead and make a short video about this, and then I think I have one or two other examples on here. This is an application problem, and it says the perimeter of a rectangular window is 42 meters. Find its length if the length is twice the width. So the first thing we need to know is what is the perimeter. And the perimeter of a closed figure is going to be the distance around it. So here's our rectangle, and they say our perimeter is 42 meters, and we'll go ahead and label the length L and the width W, and then the perimeter formula short is 2 length plus 2 width. If you add them all up, you have 2 lengths and 2 widths. So that's the formula. And then we have a piece of information here. It says the length is twice the width. So I've underlined that in red there. And so we're going to write down the length is 2 width. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and substitute that in our perimeter formula along with the 42. Okay. So 42 is equal to 2 times 2 width plus 2 width. Okay, so we're just subbing in. Combine like terms on the right and divide by 6. And we get the width is 7 meters when we do that. But they asked for the length, so double the width to get the length because the length was twice the width. All right. Let's see what else we got on this one. Let's go back. And this is a difference of squares problem. It doesn't quite look like it, but it is. It's got a little bit larger numbers. So this is an application where you would have to do factoring twice. 256 is really 16 squared, and then x squared is x to the fourth, and the 625 is 25 squared, and then y squared is y to the fourth. So this is a difference of squares. My bases are the 16x squared and the 25y squared. And we can go ahead and use our difference of squares formula, which is a squared minus b squared equals a minus b, a plus b. And so the a would be the 16x squared, and the b would be the 25y squared to fit the formula there. So then we'd factor that into 16x squared minus 25y squared, 16x squared plus 25y squared. Okay? And then they're trying to be tricky with this problem. 16x squared minus 25y squared, that is a difference of squares. So we have to factor it one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and write it so you can see that the two bases. So 16x squared is the same thing as 4x quantity squared. 25y squared is the same thing as 5y quantity squared. Okay. There is no sum of squares formula, so we can't do a whole lot with that other piece, the 16x squared plus 25y squared. However, we can factor that first piece. And so it's going to factor into 4x minus 5, 4x plus 5y, and then times 16x squared plus 25 y squared, and that would be completely factored. So in California we may have said we had to do hella factoring. One more where we have to do a lot of factoring is let's see what it is. This is letter F, and it's x to the fourth minus 1. We can rewrite x to the fourth as x squared squared, and then 1 is a perfect square, so 1 squared is 1. And so we would go ahead and factor that into x squared minus 1, x squared plus 1. The sum and the difference of the bases multiplied together, so x squared minus 1, x squared plus 1. X squared minus 1 is also a difference of squares, so we have to do hella factoring and finish this last part up. And there we are. And that's it.